Hey everyone, I am pretty excited that we had the option this week to record a video or to write our discussion. It's been a while since we've recorded a video, so I was pretty excited about that. So this week we had two questions. The first one was, what is something from the full-in text that resonated the most with you? And please share why or how so. So I really enjoyed the knowledge building chapter that we read this past week. A lot of things resonated with me. There are a lot of little nuggets in there. So one of the things that that he talked about in the beginning of the chapter was that sharing best practice ideas isn't enough. That leaders need to build this culture where it's actually their responsibility to share this knowledge. And he has what he's called the knowledge sharing paradigm. I don't know if you all remember the little picture like this. So he's saying that leaders need to provide the opportunity and show the team that it's their responsibility to share, give, and receive knowledge. So it really made me think a lot about the different ways that we do it, that we build knowledge in my department. And then I thought of ways where we could improve that. So little examples, for example, like when someone goes to a conference, it's always expected that they come back and share a little PowerPoint of things they learned from the conference. My problem of practice that I'm working on is trying to build up our managers of student employees, build up their training and knowledge base. And one of the things I do at every single meeting is that we share what I call war stories. So we share what's going on in our areas and learn from each other the different unique challenges of supervising students. So that's one of the things I do at every single meeting that I encourage all of them to do with their staffs as well. So that's really how I see that I'm building this culture of change, or culture of knowledge sharing. And then, yeah, so he talked a lot about collaborative culture. I just really like this chapter in general. And it also made me think about how I'm running into roadblocks in some places. My problem of practice, the change project I'm working on, the things that I'm doing with the managers, I've heard have been done in the past, but no one saved those documents. So I feel like I'm recreating the wheel of things that have already been done. It's so frustrating that we're going back to things that we did 10 years ago, but there's no resources on it. So I'm very cognizant of the things that I document and save, because I know I'm not going to be here forever, and I am having to recreate the wheel in some aspects, and it's frustrating. It's a lot of work. And Fullen speaks to that a little bit in here. I just really liked that chapter in general. So moving on to the second question for this week, as we think about the problem of practice, we've identified for the class project, share at least one lesson or nugget from the full-in text that will help you examine the change process. So I talked a little bit about this last week in my discussion post, but in one of them, but I really enjoyed this text more than last semester's text, the Cotter text, those 8 steps. I was really hesitant about those 8 steps, and it was really stretching to try to fit those into practice. It just seems like it was a stretch. It wasn't natural. So I just like the whole approach to this book instead, where he talks about the 6 points to define change, and the whole book is about understanding the change process so you can, learn the change process and then adopt it to fit your environment. I felt like those 8 steps were outdated, and I thought they needed some fine tuning. So I look at this and I think approaching the change, the class project for the change, I think that looking at it through this lens and understanding the change process will better help me implement this change through this project. So I do like this book a lot better than the one we read this summer, the Leading Change book, but that was last semester. So anyway, those are my thoughts for this week. I will see everyone on Saturday.